Hey guys, welcome to week 8. So I know that there is a lot of confusion and concern about Project 3, right? I've gotten some really productive emails about Project 3 concerns or deadlines or whatever, and I really want to thank you guys for sending those because it's stuff that I'm pretty sure that everyone has questions about. So this gives me a good opportunity to be able to talk to everyone. Okay, so before I talk about your literature review or anything like that, I want to talk a little bit about week 7, which we just finished. So let's take a look. So as you know, if you read the email that I sent out and watched the video that I put up a couple days ago, I've decided to push the annotated bibliography back, as well as the blog 5, if you haven't turned that in already. So both of these were supposed to be due Sunday night, which was last night for me if you're watching it on Monday. But now they're going to be due tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night by midnight. Now, let's talk about the annotated bibliography, because I know there were concerns about like what it is and what kind of sources we're looking for. So let me pull up the sample that I had given you guys. Now, what I want to stress is that your job here is to start to think about how the sources that you're looking for fit together. Now, before I talk about that, let's talk about those sources. I know a lot of you are having questions or concerns about what these sources are, what they're supposed to be about, so on and so forth. So let's solve that problem right now. Now, you just did 2 projects talking about your dissertation, or not, sorry, dissertation, your discourse community. And now your job is to think about any issues, topics, concerns, whatever it is, within that community that interests you. Like, you're jazzed about this community for a reason, so what is it, right? So your job is to figure out, like, what is a problem within your community or a topic within your community that you really find interesting that you could research and to go for it, right? You're going to pick that topic and you're gonna do some research on it. So for example, I'm thinking here of a nursing student that's interested in like why there aren't more male nurses, right? I had a student do this last semester. So why aren't there more men in nursing? And so the student went into the library and did some research on men or gender and nursing. And what they found were a lot of sources talking about like perceptions of men in nursing and the kind of care people receive from men in nursing, history of men in nursing, X, Y, and Z, right? A lot of stuff dealing with men and nursing. And so what they did is they collected these sources, first into an annotated bibliography and then later into a lit review. So what the annotated bibliography allowed this person to do is to cite the source, because you're going to need to do that anyway, summarize the source so you have an understanding of what the source is talking about in a very short and easy to define way. And then it also asks you to talk about how you see this one source fitting into the rest of the sources that you found. So how does author A's argument or topic or discussion fit into author B and C's topic or discussion? And so what you'll have by the end of this annotated bibliography is a really good collection of detailed summary about your source, and you're already starting to think about how these things are going to fit together. Now, what I want to stress is that this part right here, this application, this thinking about how they fit together, is exactly what you're going to be doing in your literature review. Because in that literature review, what you'll do is you'll summarize each source, and then you'll talk about how they're all discussing or dealing with the topic that you're interested in, right? And so what that'll show is how different authors are tackling this issue or topic and how they fit together, or how they, butt heads with each other, or how they agree with each other, whatever it is. It's going to give you a really good outline of the conversation. Okay, so that's what the annotated bibliography is, and that's what's due tomorrow night. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about week 8. Now, you're going to see here in a second that there are a couple kind of, I guess, big ticket items for week 8, but let's work through them one by one. So, number 1, week 8, watch the video. Good job. Number 2, read the student sample text right here. So you've got sample 1, sample 2. As you'll see, they're in different stages of success. Successful, needs revision. Now, what these are is these are samples of the literature review. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to read these through before I start talking about them. And then I'll put up another video this week that actually goes into detail about discussing them. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to do that first. So number 1, watch the video. Number 2, read the samples. Number 3, now I want to see a draft of your literature review by Friday by midnight. Now, this shouldn't be too much of a problem because you're already basically doing a draft in the annotated bibliography, right? You're already summarizing sources and you're already talking about how they'll relate to each other. So your job in this draft is just to expand them, maybe add a couple other sources or whatever it is. But it should already be kind of work in progress from your annotated bibliography. Okay, so I want to see a draft of that. So that's number 3. Now, number 4, continue to upload and comment on Project 3B. Now, I initially said that I wanted these to be turned in by this Sunday. However, I understand that we have some other stuff due this Sunday and that it's a holiday weekend. And so instead, what's going to happen is if we go over here to week 9, you'll see your last day to upload Project 3B is Wednesday. Okay. Now, that is the absolute final. I can push back the 3B. So, Project 3B, here's big bold header of the video. Project 3B is going to be due Wednesday, July 6th. Okay? Wednesday, July 6th, Project 3B. Good. Okay, so let's go back and talk about week 8 then. Okay, so if we know that Project 3B is due on Wednesday, then let's talk about what's due actually this week. So week 8 is the week that we're currently in. And so here's your job for week 8. I want you to make sure that you are commenting on each other's rough drafts. But then you also have this thing called a midterm reflection. Now, all this is and we'll look at it in a sec, is it's just you thinking about how you're doing so far in this class, how you're meeting your goals, how you're meeting the class goals. So let's take a look. For this assignment, compose a 500 to 1,000 word reflection in which you assess your performance on the grade criteria. I don't know why it says grade criteria. Providing evidence of success, describing goals and plans for continuing to work in the class in which you feel like you need more attention. So basically, all I'm asking you to do is to think about how well you've done so far. Give me a couple of examples of things you've done really well, and give me some ideas of what you think you could improve on. So again, you'll browse, you'll upload a document right there. Okay. So it's deeply personal, very much first person, no wrong answers here, as long as you are just talking to me about, give me some examples of what you've done well, and give me some examples of things you could improve on. That's all. Okay. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem for you guys to do. Okay. So let's review. What I'm looking for this week is by tomorrow night, you'll have uploaded your annotated bibliography in your blog if you haven't done so already. Friday night, you'll upload your rough draft of your literature review. By Sunday, you'll have completed your peer response on your partner's peer review, and you'll upload your midterm reflection. By next Wednesday, you'll have uploaded Project 3B. And if you still have any questions about that, please watch the video that I put up last week explaining how to do that, and then contact me if there's still any confusion. And then a week from Sunday, Project 3 will be due. All right, guys, if you have any questions, any concerns whatsoever, please let me know. I know there's been some confusion about some of this stuff this week, and I take full responsibility for that, for either not explaining it in these videos well enough or anything like that. So I'm going to be putting up more videos more often for you guys to walk you through these next couple weeks. But obviously, if you have questions, email me, Skype, chat with me or whatever, and we'll get it all sorted. So Wednesday, look out for another video in which I will talk through in detail the literature review samples. But until then, just make sure you're working on those annotated bibs, getting those done, and start to transition them into your literature review draft. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.